and thank you for tuning into the pod of Born to Be a Star. Today is Monday, aka Monday, aka Let's Get This Party Started, aka One Way or Another, aka yeah, it's Monday, and it's cold, and it was raining all day yesterday, and I went to church, and I did all these things, and it's still cold, and just horrible, really. And just, how do you deal with this? Like, how? I don't know. I don't really know. I wish it was nicer. I wish it wasn't as dampy and shitty, but hopefully the nice weather's coming in, and the April showers bring in the May flowers. I can hope that's happening, but we'll have to wait and we'll have to see. Today is another opportunity for you to recognize your star power, for you to look in the mirror and see where you've been and where you're going, for you to know that anything is possible if you believe in yourself. We talk about that all the time. We talk about your ability to understand that you are great, you're amazing, you're remarkable, you are a light, a bright light of beauty or handsomeness or whatever you want to call it. You are incredible. And it's often people don't tell you that enough, how amazing you are. But I'm here to do it for you. So you're amazing, and don't forget it. We say to ourselves every day, yes, I can. Yes, I can finish this show that I'm watching. Yes, I can read this book I started reading. Yes, I can do a bunch of things. And it's really important. We say to ourselves, yes, I can get off this couch and go paint that room. Or, yes, I can try this new hobby. Or, yes, I can find a career path that I actually like to do. Or, yes, I can try out this new recipe to see if I know how to bake a bun cake. Yes, you can. Yes, you can do a lot of things. And it's possible to do these things, because if you put your mind to it, what can't you do? There's the question. Never give up is the second part of the question. If you give up, how can you ever get to anything? You'll never get to anything because you already gave up and you didn't see anything through. You have to stay focused, and you have to understand that hard work is only going to work if you see it to the end. So you can't give up. Thanks, John Cena. He does Make-A-Wish for children, and he is such an amazing individual. And it's just so rewarding to see someone care so much about others in that kind of a way. Because we live in a time where everybody's just on their phone, everybody's just looking at the reflection and taking selfies and going on Snapchat, and they're addicted to TikTok. And that's a problem. But no one wants to admit that. Finally, we have to realize that why not today? Because procrastination and being indecisive isn't going to get you to where you're going. It's just going to make everything harder, right? It's going to make everything take forever. That's all it's going to lead to. And I know you're probably like, but I want to get to blah, 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 blah. But that's not going to get you to blah, 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 blah. That's not going to get you exactly where you want to be by procrastinating. Procrastination doesn't steer you into success. It steers you into questioning what you just did. So stay away from it in any way possible. Let's get to some headlines with no media allowed, no media allowed, no media allowed, because they lie to us anyway. So we have a lot to talk about today, so let's just get to it. So much happened last week. I know I missed a week of talking to you guys, especially about no media allowed. A lot happened with media coverage, and there's so much we have to talk about today. But I really did need a week off, right? Sometimes we all just need a break, and I think Candace Owens was correct about taking some time away. It really gave me the ability to see exactly what's happening with media, which is why I named part of the podcast No Media Allowed. I really want to break No Media Allowed into its own podcast, and at some point in this year of 2023, I am going to do that. I want this to either be an hour or 30 minutes just talking about politics solely by itself. But for now, I'm going to keep it a part of Born to be a Star. But at some point, I want to separate the two, right? That's going to need to be necessary. So we'll see what happens. But let's get to it. So first, death in black cities. Are we not going to act like black people don't kill black people? Are we still pretending like that doesn't happen? Are we going to act like all the policy that Obama put into peace isn't happening because he hates black people? Are we going to even act like Joe Biden likes black people? Black people are hated in America. People think so little of black people that they're taking away SATs and they're taking away requirements of medical school and law firms, and law school, so people can get into the programs because they don't do the hard work to do it. I did a master's in teaching and no one gave me any special privileges for that shit and no one cared. So I don't understand why we're acting like black people don't kill black people, why black children don't need black parents to make them be responsible teenagers or young adults or children. And why aren't parents parenting? You know why those kids was outside in Chicago? Because they don't have parents. That's why they were outside. You know how that ended up happening? Because nobody was saying, hey, where you going? Nobody did the parent thing. You know, the thing where you don't just let your kids run around and act crazy or violent. You know that thing? You know that. Could it really be that hard to be a parent? Like, what's the point of having kids if you're not going to, I don't know, be responsible? And when I say be responsible, I mean like actually be responsible. Because my whole thing is, I don't think we should be giving anyone a way out of anything. I don't think it should be okay to say whatever you want and not be held accountable. I don't think it's okay that we don't look at everything for what it is. Are we really going to sit here and act like things don't happen and black people don't do bad things? Are we not going to act like black people don't do things to themselves? Is that what we're doing now? Because how does that work? Black on black crime exists more than white on black crime. And black on black crime is not nice. It's not fun, and it's not comfortable to talk about it. But black people kill black people all the time. What do you think rap music is about? What do you think gangbangers are about? What do you think gangs are? What do you think the predominant culture involved in gangs is? It's black people. And I'm not saying all black people are bad, because they're not. But I'm telling you it exists. And to act like it doesn't is a lie. That's what I'm telling you. Take that how you want to. There's death in black cities. There's death in New York. And that leads me to the next part of my conversation by talking about bad policies equals bad reality. And when I talk about bad policies, I'm talking about the mayor of Detroit not admitting that the defund the police stuff does not work in these big cities with all these people causing chaos and ruckus, killing people, robbing them, raping them. They're putting tents up in the cities because they don't want to deal with it anymore and everything is out of control. That tells you that they failed. This is failure. It's not succeeding. Just because they're hiring cops back now because they have to, because it's not working without them, doesn't mean that's fixing the problem. That means that the problem's really bad. That's what it means, actually. And I know we're going to act like everything is okay. And I know we're going to act like nothing's bad happening. And I know we're going to act like all these things that I'm talking about aren't real, but they're real. And all this bad policy that I just told you about is leading me to another place to talk about another person. The other person I'm going to talk about, Braggs, is a problem for Manhattan. And you know why he's a problem for Manhattan? Because he's not actually going after criminals. I told you about that woman whose son died. He was beat to death and stabbed to death in New York, right? Her husband was injured to the point where now he is disabled. Braggs let those people off. They basically had a case where they could have got the people and they didn't want to prosecute them. That's what he's doing as a DA. He is not criminalizing bad guys, but he's chasing after Donald Trump. I have a message to all you people supporting this out there. You don't like Donald Trump because he's not a politician. You don't like Donald Trump because he's real about everything. And you don't like Donald Trump because you can't hide behind him. Like the AOC, Jamal Bowman, the Perea, whatever the fuck her name is, the one that's a brother fucker, that bitch. All these people, all of them, Gavin Newsom, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, all these people that are supposed to respect the Constitution of the United States of America, they wipe their asses with it. They don't care about that. They don't know what those words mean. This country was founded with the identity of God, with Jesus Christ and religion. And we have gotten away from a republic. We have gotten away from the values and everything that mattered. And now we have nothing. They are going to get rid of cash and they are going to control everything. And the only people we should be blaming is anybody that voted for Joe Biden in 2020. Yeah, you people that voted for him, look in the mirror at yourself. The people that voted for Obama, look in the mirror at yourself. Because I don't even know if I voted. Did I vote? Maybe I did, but probably not. Because I just felt like with Obama, like, what's happening? Question mark. Brad's is bad for Manhattan, and that leads to the next part of the conversation. People are leaving New York, but not just New York. They're leaving cities around the nation. They're not going back. When people figured out they could work from home during COVID, they left. Now more people are going to leave. It is going to be like a ghost town, and that's exactly what they get. And the person that's in charge of everything is running around acting like he's doing something. He isn't doing anything. None of them are doing anything. They're paid off by George Soros, and they're liars, and they're frauds, and they'll do anything for money, right? That's who these people are. That's what politicians have turned into. But they shouldn't have gotten to this point because the people have the power. And until we unleash our power with voting, nothing's going to go back to normal. You know how we could fix all this? Vote Republican next time you vote. Vote Republican all the way down. This country needs to go completely red. We need to get rid of the illegal aliens, and we need to get our country back. You can't fucking come over here if you're not coming over here the correct way. If you're not doing things the correct way to be a United States citizen, then you're going to be deported back to wherever you came from. The only reason there's a problem at the borders of Mexico and other places around the United States of America is because the Democratic Party wanted it to be open because they want more illegal people to come over here to vote for them. This is about votes. They already have ballot harvesting, and they created that. There's problems here. Moving on from that, let's talk about Tucker Carlson. Don Lemon got fired on Friday too, right? But Don Lemon doesn't matter. Tucker Carlson matters far more. He was the one journalist left that just didn't give a fuck. And it's not a bad thing that he's off Fox News, because let me tell you the truth about news. Nobody watches it. Let me tell you the ratings about news. They're not that good. And Fox is decent. They have decent numbers. But it's likely that anybody that followed Tucker Carlson is not going to watch Fox News. They're probably going to end up boycotting it or just not tuning into it anymore. Because Jesse Waters isn't Tucker Carlson. I'm sorry, he's not. And Greg Gutfeld's great, but he's a comedian. And like, it's not the same kind of conversation. And you can already see the smell in the water with the way they're talking to Democrats on these shows that they have. Things are going amok. Tucker Carlson has been confined to Fox and all their rules. And he called out the Pentagon. And he called out the war. And he called out January 6th. And he called out COVID. And he called out a lot of things. And now that I'm talking about Tucker Carlson, I'm going to say some things. And I'm not going to apologize for what I'm going to say. But he has given me the strength to love myself and God in a different way. So I'm going to proclaim my allegiance to Tucker Carlson right now. January 6th was nothing. COVID was made up. They'll do anything to get rid of Donald Trump, including creating COVID, to get rid of him. Do you think they wouldn't murder millions of people so they could get complete control over you? Do you think the Pentagon actually cares about what you have to say about anything? All the fake CIA and the complete woke FBI going after Republican conservative Americans because they believe in pro-life? They're coming after you if you're Christian, you're Catholic, you believe in God. You're who they're coming after. They're not going after the criminals. They're coming after you. I stand with Tucker Carlson because I do believe in freedom of speech. And I don't give a fuck if you don't like it. Because if you don't like it, then you don't believe in freedom of speech. If you're going to try to chastise me and tell me what to say, then you don't understand what freedom of speech is. It doesn't have to be nice. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be what you want to hear. It can sometimes be real. Really real. And if you don't understand the idea of that, then you honestly don't understand the Constitution of the United States. You don't get it. You don't get it. The trans movement is a movement of death. It's not DIY, it's DIE. Die. Sam Smith made a provocative song, and at the end of that shitty celebration, there was a commercial for Pfizer. If that doesn't tell you what's happening, I don't know what will. We had one person left, and it was Tucker. And now he's not on TV. So guess what? We aren't. We're not on TV. Guess what's going to happen to Fox? They're going to learn a lesson just like Bud did. And they're going to have to eat their breakfast or eat the coffin or eat whatever they've done to themselves. And they can't blame anybody for it. Honestly, I've been watching Fox, and most of it just turns me off. Seriously. There's a few shows that I like, and there's a few commentators that I enjoy. And Jesse Waters is okay. But again, Jesse Waters isn't Tucker Carlson. And they can move him up a slot to try to act like nothing changed. But it's not going to work. We all know that. Tucker isn't done. He is going to have a voice. And he will come back at some point. Maybe he'll go to Newsmax. Maybe he'll go on Twitter. Maybe he'll do his own thing on Rumble like everybody else does. A lot of other people just do their own thing on Rumble, and they have their shows going at 11 on Rumble. Whatever he does, I'll follow him there. And I will not watch Fox because I don't really have an allegiance to Fox, right? I don't. I listened to it because I knew Tucker was coming on at 8, and it was like if I have a free day or something, I just put it on because I hate Clinton News Network. Tucker Carlson is the one individual that allows you to feel like you can have these feelings and opinions that other people don't have. I'm going to miss him controlling that time slot. But Fox News is going to pay. And it's going to be fun watching them die. Where their ratings die. Cheers to you, Tucker. You won't miss them. Moving on from no media allowed, no media allowed, no media allowed. Because they lie to us anyway. Strength can get you through it. Sometimes you're going to have to deal with situations that are not like the way you want them to be. Or you're going to have to deal with people who are not the way you want them to be. Regardless of that, right? You still have to be strong. Regardless of you wanting to give up, you can't give up. Regardless of you feeling like you want to run away, you sometimes can't do that. Like, I don't like conflict, right? I don't like arguing, and I don't like dealing with people that want to demean me and make me feel like I'm something I'm not. So typically if something goes awry in a situation, I just walk away and leave it because I don't have time for it. And I know my value, right? I'm not questioning my worth because I'm priceless and there's no amount of money that can afford me, right? That's why I married my best friend, Skip. That's why my life is operated the way it is. We don't have a mortgage, right? Because we haven't found a house we like. But we don't even really know where we want the house to be, honestly. And I like having the ability. So, honestly, I don't want to, let me see how to say this. I don't want to lose my strength, to lose my radiant light. And I don't want to lose my enthusiasm and my enjoyment and my happiness because other people aren't happy. Other people aren't happy because they're miserable. And that doesn't have shit to do with me. If you want to live your life being miserable and you want to be mad and angry and you want to be upset and you want to take it out on me, go ahead. Because at some point, I won't be here anymore for you to take anything out on. Because at some point, I'm going to move the fuck on. Regardless of what the situation is. Regardless if it's where I live, whatever. I'm going to leave. Now, I had a very detailed conversation with Skip about where we could go. And honestly, I think America is running out of time and I'm ready to leave. So our plans are changing. If we do have kids, I'd rather not raise them here in this country. Because this country doesn't have the same values that I do anymore. It's just insane. And honestly, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want my kids to grow up questioning their sexuality, being so fucking confused at school because the teachers are indoctrinating them, right? And I understand my kids are going to go to Catholic school just because I don't trust public schools and I'm not putting them in there. Because I don't know. I'm a teacher, so I basically have a very keen ability to understand education. Like I've said many times, the reason I got out of it is because it's not about the kids, it's about the numbers. Strength is something that you can rely on to get you through difficult, horrible days. So when you feel like you can't do it, know you can. Keep pushing forward. Regardless of what the background noise players are saying and people that don't matter are doing, keep moving forward. Because you can't look backward if you're pushing forward. Trust and believe. You have to trust and believe, because if you trust and believe, then you're going to accomplish those goals and you are going to make it through. Hope can guide you. Hope can guide you. You know what can't guide you? Despair, believing in nothing. That's not going to get you anywhere. I question people that are atheists because my brother said something to me this weekend that was very interesting. What if you're wrong? What if you not believing in anything is wrong? And what if Jesus is real and you die and you go to one of the spots, heaven or hell? What if you're wrong? What are you going to do at that point when you realize that there is something and there is an after? What's next after that? You basically spent your entire life believing in nothing for nothing. How does that work? Hope can guide you. Hope can guide you. Because hope, having hopefulness and understanding that maybe something great can happen, is the light that you need in the darkness to get you from day to day, from second to second, minute to minute, hour to hour, week to week, month to month, and year to year. That's what you need to have a life of fulfillment. Trust me. Going to church is critical to the week. Like, I feel like if I don't go to church on Sunday, I'm not going to have a good week. So I just go every Sunday because I can't imagine not going to church. I did have a little bit of disconnect, but it was a church that I was going to. So what did I do? I found a new church. I found a parish, and I became a Catholic. And I know people will question my willingness to want to become a Catholic with everything that happens. But I said to my mom, are you really going to condemn Catholics? What did the Baptists do? Every religion, somebody did something. And I'm not trying to say that what happened with Catholics wasn't bad, because it was. But are we going to say that the Baptist thing wasn't as bad, if not worse? And what about all these people that believe in Allah and blow up planes and shit? Right. Or what about other religions? Like, there's a bunch of religions I just don't understand, honestly. Like, you want to believe in Buddha? What the fuck is that? Like, that's just a bunch of question marks for me. But I don't chastise anyone, and I don't talk about their religion. And when I hear others chastise my religious views, I just remain silent. Because clearly you're saying things because you don't understand it. I like going to church every Sunday. I like my parish. I like my community. And I like being a part of all of it. It doesn't matter what people say about it. I'm still going to do it because I trust and believe in God and Jesus. And I know that church is the only way to get you through the insanity of life. Because right now in the United States of America, everything is turning into shit. And we're turning into China 100%. if not worse. We're going to be worse than Cuba at the end of this. And a lot of people are leaving. And I'm really ready to leave with them. Moving into the next part of the conversation, outside of the fact that you are a star wherever you are, Outnumbered is on Fox, and I do watch that when I get days off. I like it a lot. Monk, always a funny show to look at. Mystery series, you'll have to find those on Hallmark or Amazon. Peacock, very good. Night Agent, we finished that on Netflix. After Party, it's coming back to Apple this month, I think. I need to watch Ted Lasso. I started the first episode and I didn't get that far. Ghosted, me and Skip watched it on, I think, Saturday or Sunday last week, and it was very good this past weekend. Movie date nights, that led me into it. It's important, especially if you're married, to have a date night at least once or twice a week. And I think it's important, either you grab some takeout and you go home and you watch Netflix, or you watch a movie on demand or something, or even maybe a TV show, and take time with each other to have a conversation, laugh, and have good company with your spouse. Because we can become very busy in our jobs, our careers, our lives, and forget to do that. If you want a healthy relationship with the person you're married to, you need to have movie nights. Even if you're just in a regular relationship with a boyfriend and girlfriend, try to do that. Even like a big family event, try to like watch a movie together or a TV show, and try to do it with a couple of people. I think you'll really like that. Moving on from watching things to eating things, do you need a private chef? No, you don't need a private chef. Just get rid of bread and pasta. Easy, right? No carbs. You can do it. Cooking healthy is easy. No carbohydrates. Limit the salt. Limit the additions and the dressings and all that crap that goes with it, and you can do it. Air frying versus deep frying, we already know the answer to this. It's air frying. Deep frying, you have to layer everything with oil, and it's nothing but fat, and it's not good for you. Replacing bread, you can't replace bread by just not eating it or finding a low carb addition to it, which is healthier. Some carbs, like you can have rice, but like really you need to limit your pasta. You need to be eating like chickpea pasta, or make like cauliflower pasta, or something else that's not like gluten. That's what I mean. Is keto better than Mediterranean? It depends on what you want to do. If you want to just stop doing carbs, I'd go keto. If you want to eat some things that's a little different, then maybe I tried Mediterranean. They're both really different, so you have to look into either one and then decide which one you want to do. That, my friends, is the end of this Monday pod. Thank you for tuning in to Born to Be a Star, and I will see you tomorrow on Tuesday. Bye.